Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to talk about Hawkeye episode 5, Ronin. And yes, this involves the Ronin character. In what way? Well, I'll get to it a little later, but first let's start off with how this episode began, giving us a glimpse to what happened to Yelena during the time of the blip. That's right. We start off in 2018. Yelena's doing what she was set out to do at the end of Black Widow, which took place in 2016. So she's looking for all the Black Widows that are around that could still be under the control from who's the bad guy again in Black Widow? I forgot the name, but it should be a name that I know because it was also mentioned in the first Avengers. But yes, she's doing, going around finding more Black Widows, and we see what happened to her during the blip. She was one of the people blipped, and we got to see that from her perspective, her getting blipped away, and then her returning from the blip 5 years later, which was really cool, seeing how everything changed around her as she returned back 5 years later, and then seeing the girl that she just saw now with a family, a child and a husband. So it was really interesting seeing that from that perspective. We kind of saw it in WandaVision with what was the character's name? Oh man, Tiona. It was played by Tiona Paris. Monica Rambeau. That's right. We saw that with Monica Rambeau in WandaVision, but now we get to see the disappearance and then the reappearance all at once, which was, I think, even more cooler from that angle. So yeah, I like seeing how she got back, and then it obviously ends with her asking, I have to find my sister. I have to let her know and all that. But we already know what happens at that point. That's already the time when Natasha was already dead, unfortunately, by that point. So it gets us up to speed of what happened to Yelena during that time. We still don't know what happened to David Harbour, Red Guardian, and Rachel Weisz's characters, though. Did they blip away also? I know Red Guardian is mentioned in this episode. She mentioned, her father told her stuff. She mentions her father, but we don't know if they disappeared or if they were blipped away or not. So I'm curious if we'll ever find out. Because why weren't they there at the battle, the final battle during Endgame? Maybe they were blipped away too. Who knows? So we get caught up in modern day. Kate and Clint are now split up from what happened in the previous episode. And Kate, tells her mother about Jack, that she suspects Jack, and her and Clint found all these clues about him. And eventually Jack is arrested. And I'm going to be honest, I do think he is framed, like he says. He feels confident that he was framed, and I believe it. And I've already been suspecting for a while, since episode 1 or episode 2, that her mother, because I already heard some theories about it, and I was already on that train that, okay, maybe I will keep her as a suspect. And then last week with the phone call made me suspect her even more. So I think it's leading up to, I think the ending pretty much confirmed that she is indeed somehow related to all of this. But I don't want to spoil that ending yet until we get to there. So Yelena, we get a scene where Yelena and Kate meet and talk, and I really like that scene, man. I really liked the two of them interacting together. They're back and forth. It's the first time we get to see this new Hawkeye meeting this new Black Widow, which hopefully we'll see a lot more of down the road in future MCU, either movies or shows at some point. So their back and forth was a lot of fun, but then it gets a little more intense afterwards when Yelena starts opening up to why she's there. She's there to kill Clint. But I did like that Kate said, well, you're suspecting, Clint of doing all these bad things, but have you looked into the people that hired you? And Yelena kind of, she doesn't back off, but you could see on her face that she was thinking about that. And so she decides to go do some investigating, as we find out later in the episode. Meanwhile, Clint is running around doing his things, and he's realizing that he might have to end this once and for all. And how does he do that? He decides to put on the Ronin suit. I like that he went back to, I guess it was Union Station, right? Is that what the station is called in New York? I don't remember. I think I'm mixing it up with downtown Toronto's subway station, or the main state, the big station, I guess, in Toronto is Union Station. I don't know what it is in New York. I keep forgetting. Grand Central Station? I think that's what it is. Grand Central Station. Clint goes nearby there. That's where the Avengers had the big battle, and one of the big huge Chitauri dragons crash into the subway because Thor and Hulk are fighting on it. He goes, and there's a plaque there that reads all 6 of the original Avengers names, saying that this is where the original Avengers assembled. And it was kind of cool seeing that, and having Clint trying to have a heart-to-heart talk with Natasha and Spirit, I guess. It was a really nice, touching moment. And then when he says, so please forgive me what I'm about to do, you're like, oh shit, what is he gonna do? And he dresses back into the Ronin outfit after talking to his wife, and decides to go confront Maya once and for all. And I thought, so is he gonna kill her? Because why is he saying to please forgive me for putting on the suit? I didn't think he needed to say please forgive me for what I'm about to do, because it sounded like he was gonna kill Maya, but he doesn't. There is a battle. Clint takes out all her men first, including Maya's best friend, second in command, I guess, and he wins the battle. He wins the battle against Maya. And look, if you go after my family, that will be the last thing you'll ever do. And so Clint makes it known. And he also tells her, hey, your boss was the one that hired me to kill your dad. So that kind of starts making Maya start thinking. She doesn't want to believe it at first, but then after Ronin gets out, or Clint gets out, she does start thinking about it. She even asks, I keep forgetting what her right-hand guy is, his name. But she asks him, how come you weren't there that night with my father? And he said, well, no one called me to do it. And I believe him on that. I believe him. I don't think he's involved with her father's death. I feel like he's too loyal to her to actually betray her like that or lie to her like that. I think he was being honest. He wasn't called because, they don't want. They knew he would probably tell Maya about the situation anyways, so keep him out of it. So then Clint and Kate unite once again, because Kate does show up at the battle and rescues Clint before Maya can beat him in a fight, because Maya catches him off his guard. Once they get back to safety, we see Elena investigating, I guess, and she sends a text to Kate, including a picture. And what happens? Well, Kate looks at this text of her mother is involved, and it's a picture of her mother with who? Clint Barton is the one that gets this name drop the character. It is the Kingpin, and we do see a picture of the Kingpin. It's a little blurry, but I think that's pretty much Vincent D'Onofrio as the Kingpin. And I'm going to be honest. I heard from the beginning that this episode was going to blow fans' minds. And even though it was cool seeing the Kingpin, it was disappointing the way it was revealed. For me. For me, it was a little disappointing. I thought we were going to get more than just a picture of the Kingpin. I thought we were going to get him coming into a scene, or having, Maya's right-hand man going to him saying, Maya's getting up to you. Even though I didn't think that he would do that, maybe I was expecting a little something like that. So I feel like we should have actually got him physically in the episode, even if it was an end credit tease of him talking and saying something. Hopefully next week we actually get to see him, because I will be so disappointed if we don't see the Kingpin next week. I think for sure he's gonna show up next week. He has to by this point. Even if they don't, like, he gets away or something, because obviously they'll probably want to use him for other things down the road. There is an Echo series coming, so what better way than having Echo going up against her uncle, who turns out to be the Kingpin. I'm gonna guess non-blood related. They're just, they used to, her father used to be very close with Wilson Fisk. So the reason, what we have to learn from Wilson Fisk is why. Why did you murder her father? So yeah, I am looking forward to the finale next week. Hopefully they give us more Kingpin than just a picture. Because if we don't see him next week, I'm gonna be disappointed. A little bit. A little bit. I thought this episode was good though. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was as mind blowing as they were promising, but it was good. It was a good episode. There were some really nice emotional moments. There was some fun back and forth between the characters as well. I was just expecting Kingpin to be introduced a little bit differently, and that's what kind of hurt it a little bit for me. When you start saying, oh, this is gonna blow fans' minds, and then all we see is a picture of the Kingpin, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna be a little disappointed by it. But for the most part, it was a good episode. Not gonna hate on this one. I haven't hated any of the episodes so far, but right now, because they heightened it up a little bit, someone heightened it up. I think it was one of the producers. Maybe that's what let me down a little bit, but it was still a good episode. So with that being said, guys, comment below, tell me what you thought of this episode. Were you expecting more from it like I was? Is there any scenes or moments in the episode that I didn't mention that I should be? I love seeing the pizza dog in every episode. I'm gonna say that. Pizza dog, he makes my heart warm. So that's cool. So with that being said, comment below, tell me your thoughts, and until next time, everybody, next week is the final episode. Really looking forward to it. Until next time, take care.